Look at the modern city. For all the technology we carry in our pockets, the physical environment around us remains almost entirely static. Millions of tons of concrete and steel sit idle, quietly wasting energy, bleeding time in traffic, and ignoring the massive amounts of data flowing through it. Keeping these legacy structures running is a massive one-way financial drain. We pour trillions of dollars into road maintenance, grid repairs, and utility upgrades every year just to maintain the baseline. The infrastructure itself fails to generate a single dollar of independent wealth. This creates a massive blind spot. While venture capital obsesses over the next consumer software app or digital screen, a massive transfer of value is happening in physical space. Concrete and steel are being upgraded with decentralized artificial intelligence, creating urban environments that actually react to the people living inside them. To capture the financial upside of tomorrow's civilization, you have to understand exactly how value is extracted from this new technological stack. This city is divided into a three-tiered architecture. At the base, you have the energy grid. In the middle, the logistics layer, handling physical movement. And hovering at the top, the data cloud. Tracing the connections between these three layers is how you map the monopolies of the next 50 years. Start at the base layer. For a century, power generation has been a one-way street. A central plant burns fuel and pushes electricity out to consumers. Now, that monolithic system is fracturing into thousands of localized, AI-managed microgrids. Individual office buildings and the electric vehicles parked in their garages have transitioned into independent power plants. Look at the flow in this model. When a home's solar panels capture more sunlight than the house needs, that surplus energy is instantly routed back into the central grid. Every time those units flow outward, a financial transaction occurs, generating a micro profit for the homeowner. But humans aren't making these trades. Grid management software autonomously predicts spikes in demand and negotiates these microtransactions in milliseconds, constantly rerouting power exactly where it's needed. The physical solar panels and batteries are just commodities. The high-margin investment is the management software executing the trades. A building's utility bill used to be a fixed liability. Today, its energy footprint is a dynamic, tradable asset. Move up from the flow of electricity to the physical movement of objects. The second layer is about eliminating kinetic friction from the supply chain. Surface-level delivery trucks are heavy and slow. They are being replaced by networks of windowless, magnetically levitating cargo pods shooting through dedicated underground tunnels. Above the pedestrian level, invisible aerial corridors are being carved out for autonomous delivery drones, managed entirely by air traffic algorithms. Notice the movement in this intersection. There are no stoplights. Synchronized routing algorithms calculate the precise velocity of every single vehicle, timing their approach so they pass through each other in continuous motion. The traffic jam effectively disappears. To pull this off, the algorithms require a constant stream of environmental data. That data is captured by LiDAR, light detection and ranging sensors, that use pulsed lasers to map the physical surroundings in 3 dimensions and feed that geometry back to the network. Building the cars is a low-margin hardware business. The monopoly in this layer belongs to whoever owns the routing algorithm, directing the flow of the entire fleet. Hovering over the energy and transit grids is the final invisible layer, the urban data cloud. Every street lamp and crosswalk on the block has been retrofitted as a node in a massive, interconnected sensory network. This heat map visualizes what those sensors are pulling in. They are tracking micro-fluctuations in air quality, logging exact foot traffic density outside specific storefronts, and mapping consumer behavior patterns block by block. All of that intelligence flows upward into the hands of specialized data brokers who package these behavioral insights and sell them to retailers, urban planners, and hedge funds. Energy and transit keep the city alive, but the proprietary behavioral data extracted from its citizens is the highest yielding asset the environment produces. The city has evolved into an independent financial engine that generates its own continuous revenue. Look at the difference in these two models. Traditional real estate investing meant buying a physical plot of dirt and the building sitting on top of it. Next-generation real estate is about owning the code that wraps around that location. You don't need to own the asphalt. You want to own the nervous system, the overarching software, the sensor arrays, and the AI models that operate on top of that asphalt. It requires looking past the consumer-facing applications on our phones and hunting for the companies quietly building the invisible architecture holding everything together. The true wealth of the coming decades will be captured by the people who control the operating system of tomorrow's civilization.